One of the more common questions I get is how to lose belly fat. The truth is, belly fat, the fat around the abdominal area, is one of the last things to go. So you do have to be patient. And this video is not going to give you one simple trick that's going to mean goodbye belly fat. But what I am going to do instead is give you 5 steps to lose belly fat. And if you stick with this video to the end, you will know how to lose your belly fat. Before I get into these 5 tips, it will really help me out if you click that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit those bell notifications as well. It will really help my channel grow. So step number 1, make sure you've got your nutrition dialed in. And to some, this may mean a huge calorie deficit. After all, the less calories I'm consuming, the more fat I'm burning. And that's not always the case. It is to some extent, but the goal here is to lose fat, not just lose weight on the scale. And what some people will do as well, they'll try and create this calorie deficit through more exercise. And I keep doing more and more exercise. You're gonna find it very difficult. We've got a finite amount of energy. It won't be long before you burn out and you won't have the energy to do more exercise, and you move less throughout the day. So I suggest creating a calorie deficit through your diet. It's easier to eat less than it is to keep piling on the exercise. So for example, if you run 5K, the average person's going to burn between 300 to 400 calories. A Pret sandwich or a Subway sandwich, that's even a 6-inch Subway sandwich, is around 300 to 400 calories. So you can eat that back pretty easy. So I suggest creating that through diet. And like I've said in my previous video, start at maintenance calories. Look at how your body's progressing and adjust that accordingly. If you've got to a point where you're no longer losing fat and you're at a new maintenance, then I suggest, going into a slight deficit. Just don't go into a crazy deficit. It's going to take time. And also with nutrition, make sure you're consuming enough protein. It's just as important for building muscle as it is for losing fat. Protein is the most filling macronutrient. It's going to keep you full for longer. And not only that, it's got a higher thermic effect of food. That means to digest, metabolize protein costs more energy than other macronutrients, up to around 25% more. And the thermic effect of food, the TEF, is about 10% of your daily energy expenditure. So I'm not just saying just eat protein, but getting enough protein is going to help, even if it's only slightly. But remember, the calorie deficit and the protein, when it comes to nutrition, are key. The carbs and the fats, largely up to you. As long as you're getting enough carbs, as long as you're feeling energized and you're fueling your workouts, but largely up to you in terms of distribution. I know different people prefer different distributions of carbs and fat. Step number 2, schedule that daily walk. Daily walks are very underrated. I've talked about walks in other videos. I've talked about walks in plenty of videos in general, and I'm going to stand by this. Walks are a great form of cardio. If you're getting in about, let's say, around a 5K walk a day, you're looking, or even if you're getting 10,000 steps in, which is roughly around 5K, it doesn't have to be all at once. It can be 3 separate walks, and that you're looking at another 500 calories you're burning. And that's not like hard exercise. I know I said to create that calorie deficit through nutrition, but you also need to exercise. And walking is something you can do easily along resistance training. So imagine a walk 7 days a week, that's 500 calories a day extra burnt. But obviously, roughly, some people will burn more and some people will burn less, but that's roughly 500 calories a day extra. And walking has numerous benefits like increasing blood flow, reducing stress levels. There are numerous benefits to walking, but from a standpoint of losing your belly fat, it's going to help you burn an extra roughly 500 calories a day. Step number 3, drink enough water. This is often overlooked because people think they drink enough until they actually monitor how much they're drinking. They realize, wait, probably don't drink enough. Being dehydrated can significantly affect your performance. And if your performance is affected, then your workout's going to be less efficient. So making sure you go into a workout hydrated is going to increase your performance and make your workout more efficient, meaning you'll burn more calories during that workout. Water will actually also keep you full and prevent you from snacking. A 2016 paper by Simon and Thornton actually found that increasing water intake led to more fat lost. And he attributed that to the increase in metabolism. When it comes to water intake, there's lots of recommendations out there. I actually recommend aiming for between 2.5 to 3.5 liters of water a day, and starting the day in the morning with around, well, as soon as you wake up, actually, this is a great way to kickstart that water intake to ensure you're going to drink enough during the day. Start with around 500 milliliters of water as soon as you wake up. You can go all the way to a liter if that suits you, but I reckon definitely start with 500 milliliters of water and see how you get on, but aim for 2.5 to 3.5 liters a day. Step number 4, train your abs. I'm not going to tell you to do 1,000 crunches or train abs every single day. Spot reduction is not a thing. You won't be able to train your abs to specifically lose fat from that area. That's not what I'm getting at. This has actually been well established in the research, and a particular study in 2011 by Vispute et al. Actually found that an abdominal exercise routine did not increase fat loss overall or in that specific area. But I'm going to say one thing: if you're training them, you're training your abs with resistance specifically, you're going to build the muscle. You're going to build the abdominal muscle. If you're not training them, you're not going to build the muscle. So what's going to happen is when you do lose the body fat, you're not going to get that flat six-pack ab look that you're after. You may not be after that specifically, but I'm pretty sure if you clicked on this video and you got this far, that's something you're looking to achieve. If you're looking to achieve that, you need to train your abdominal muscles with resistance. I actually recommend training them twice a week. I recommend specifically doing cable crunches, just in a safe way, about 2 to 3 sets twice a week, and some planks as well to increase that isometric strength, to increase that stability in the spine as well. So I recommend doing that, and don't just think that the more you train abs, the more they're gonna grow, the more they're gonna show. Remember, abs are built in the gym and revealed in the kitchen. Step number 5, and the final step you need to take to lose belly fat and reveal those abs, or maybe even not reveal those abs, just lose belly fat, track your progress. I've said this as well a few times, but you need to track your progress. If you don't know where you are, how are you gonna know when you've made changes? How are you gonna know what those changes look like? And there's a number of ways to track progress. The most common ones, obviously, people weigh themselves, but that's one tool, but I suggest taking photos as being your primary tool. Take photos, front, back, and side photos, and take them in the same spot so you can compare them. I would say take them 2 to 4 weeks apart, just so it gives enough time to see some progress between the photos and see some changes. But 2 to 4 weeks apart, same spot, same lighting if you can, same time of day. I suggest doing it on an empty stomach, like first thing in the morning. Another one, apart from weighing, obviously weighing is definitely one you can use as well. Just make sure if you're weighing yourself every single day, take your weekly average. So add all the days. So add, say you weigh, for example, not many people weigh 50 kilos. 50 kilos times 7, 7 5s, 35, divided by, if you weighed that every day, divided by 7, that's going to give you 50 kilos, for example. So just add the 7 days and then divide it by 7 days. And that will give you your weekly average. And measurements are important. The main measurements I suggest you take, and make sure you're taking them right, taking them in the same spot, are your biceps, so your arms. I recommend taking your waist, so just above your belly button. And I recommend taking I said waist? Yes, I did say waist. Biceps, waist, and chest measurements. Those are the main ones. If you want to take others, you can. You can take as many as you want or as little as you want, but I definitely suggest a waist, biceps, and chest. I will show you if those measurements are going up and the weight's not changing too much, but you notice it, well, if the waist is going down, chest is going up, biceps, arms are going up, then you know you're trending in the direction of building muscle and losing fat. And remember, that can be at roughly the same rate, which is going to distort the weight, which means you might not lose too much weight on the scale. But that depends on how big your calorie deficit is. And another method obviously is to track your sleep, not obviously even, track your sleep, because tracking your sleep will give you a good indication of how much you can improve your sleep by. Say Monday you got 6 hours, then Tuesday you got 6 hours, then Wednesday you suddenly got 8 hours, and then 6, and then you can do kind of work out how many hours you got during that week on average, and then you can add where you need to add and look at your bedtime routine, because getting enough sleep is going to contribute towards building muscle and losing fat. So if you follow those 5 steps, you are going to lose belly fat. It's going to take time. It can take months. It can take, depending on how much belly fat you have to lose, it can take years. But the main point is you've got to look at progress. Are you progressing? Are you moving in the right direction? You don't want to be one of those people that lose it super fast, then then they've got excess skin and just put it back on. You want to be that person that gradually loses it over time, looks the way you want to look, and then manages to keep it off. That's so important. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a massive thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and click those bell notifications if you haven't already. I thank you very much for getting this far. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. And until the next video, keep pushing those limits.